So my name is Nicole Shafer, and I am originally from Southern California. I grew up in LA County. I currently live in Utah with my husband and my two children. I have an almost 4-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. So I had just had to stop working at my previous job, and shortly before I had my daughter, my second child. And when it was shortly after I had her that I was just looking online for possible ways to earn money from home, because I didn't want to work outside the house with the kids. I wanted to be able to stay home with them, but I wanted to be able to have kind of something that I could do on the side and maybe help bring in a little bit of extra income occasionally. So I was just looking at like blogs and stuff and websites that talked about online work or work from home options. And I found some information about transcription. And from there, I found a blog that went through and reviewed a bunch of different transcription sites that you could do online. And one of them was Transcribe Me. And by the time I was done going over it all, I knew that I wanted to try transcription, and I knew that Transcribe Me was the main one I wanted to start with. And I'm really glad I did, because it's been amazing. Let's see, I'm coming up on my 2-year Transcribe Me anniversary in about just over 3 months. So I took the entrance exam and passed it on August 29th in 2018. Shortly after a couple of months after I had joined, when they came out with the first draft exam, I took that exam first to get on the first draft team. And that took me 4 attempts before I got on the team. And from there, I knew I wanted to apply for TME. And so that was the Special Styles team. So I applied for that right after I got on the first draft team, and I got accepted pretty quickly onto that team, and from there moved up into the TME QA position fairly quickly. So I wasn't an official 2-step QA or quick step QA at that time. I decided I wanted to start attempting the QA exams to become an official QA. So I took the 2-step QA exam first, because I thought that was probably the best fit for me, having kids and things like that. Being able to edit the work instead of doing all of the entire file, I thought it might be faster. And so I attempted that exam first. It didn't quite pass. So I decided I'd go ahead and try the quick step exam. And I just figured I'd just go back and forth and see which one I passed first. I took the quick step exam and I passed on the first try. So I had been on quick step for a little bit, but they came out and said that if you were on the quick step team and had passed probation, you could volunteer to go over to the 2-step team. And if you passed probation there, then you could join the 2-step team. So I decided to go ahead and do that, since they seemed like they needed more people over there. And I thought that would be a better fit for me. So medical exam came out the end of last year. I failed the first attempt, but I passed on my second attempt. So I'm on the medical team as well. So I get up in the morning, probably between 7 and 8 usually, and just kind of get myself ready for the day. I have just a little ritual I do in the morning just to kind of get myself mentally and emotionally prepared, I guess, for the day. But then I will usually get on Yammer and check all my special teams, see kind of what it's looking like, if there's any progress or updates on work that's available or special projects we're doing, what the workload is looking like. And then I'll go through and I'll answer any questions that people might have on my teams about anything. I forgot to mention this. I just recently became an admin I am a TME ambassador. And so one of my responsibilities there is to help out the members of TME, as well as answer other questions on Yammer. So, and then I'll get started on transcribing. And then I'll take a break and make sure the kids are changed and dressed, and make my husband's lunch for work. And then, get lunch ready for the family and things like that. When my husband gets up, I spend a little time with him, and then I'll just, after he goes to work, I will work on Transcribe Me just throughout the day as I have time, as time permits, while I'm tending my kids and taking care of the house and all that stuff. And then in the evenings, after I put my kids down to bed, I'll usually spend a little bit of time after they go to bed, just doing some extra transcribing or any other little work I want to do. The community has been amazing, and I really enjoy the work. Like I said, the community is really supportive. It feels like kind of an online family almost, and it's really nice to be a part of. And then most importantly to me is that I can work from home at my own pace, on my own schedule, because obviously to me, family's, everything. Well, like I said, it's been, as a stay-at-home mom, it's been nice to have that community. It's nice to feel included in something, and like I'm giving back or making a difference in people's lives, or providing a service while I am still able to take care of and provide for my family. And then I have been able to make a little bit of extra money on the side, which is obviously always helpful for my family, and just being able to make a little bit of extra money to help take care of the groceries, or to help us save up money for projects that we're working on. We recently moved and bought a new house, and so there's a lot of projects that have to be done. And so the extra money that it's been providing has been really nice to be able to know, okay, I'm going to make this much extra every week. I'm going to make this much extra every month. And that can either, go towards a particular project we want to work on, or it can take care of some of the bills so that my husband's overtime or whatever that he's doing can go towards our projects. Yeah, for me personally, it's been fulfilling to be a part of the work, and to be part of the team and the family that is Transcribe Me. And then for my family, it's been nice to just have that little extra to help us out, Definitely. I see myself being at Transcribe Me for many, many, many years to come. I don't see any reason to where I would not continue to be a part of Transcribe Me in the future. It's just so, like I said, it's so flexible, and it's fun, and it's supportive, and it's easy to remain active. So I don't see any reason where I would not continue working with Transcribe Me. A couple admins that I feel like have really touched me or made a difference in my life. Let's see, Kim Butler is one. She early on, she made an impact on me. I think sometimes she can come off as a little gruff to some people, but I really love her. When I was first starting out, she was really helpful and supportive in the community, in that Yammer community. And I had a project or a file I was working on, and it had a ton of crosstalk. And this was the first time I had run into crosstalk, and I wasn't sure how to separate it all. And so I had asked some questions about it on Yammer, and I had been working on it, and I did it the best I could because I didn't get an answer right away. And then she answered. And so we talked a little bit about it, and I figured out the best way to go about it in the future. But she said the way I had done it, was good for someone who didn't know what they were doing, who had just started out. And so she said, moving forward, you can just adjust it to do it this way. But don't worry about it. And she might not remember that, but I've always remembered that. That was my first time dealing with that situation, but it really helped me to know how to deal with that situation moving forward. And like I said, I think she's great and a joy to have around Yammer. Another person who made a big impact on me was Shannon Taylor, who used to be over TME. I love her too. Shannon, I felt like was so supportive and encouraging for me when I first started on TME, and just made working with TME so much better, so much fun. Those are a couple standouts for me for sure, of admins who touched me and made a difference in my life. Definitely recommend reading all the materials that they send you in the welcome email, the welcome videos on the Transcribe Me community on YouTube, and then checking out all the index of helpful documents. There's so much there that is really just to help us succeed. And so, and again, Transcribe Me Opportunities document is something I recommend to everybody, because I think it's so good to like kind of see, okay, well, what are my options here and what direction do I want to go in? I'd also say, don't be afraid to ask questions on Yammer, and always refer to the style guide often. There's no shame in that, and it's important. So, they're providing it to us to help us to be the best that we can be and to provide the best that we can for our clients. So take exams during the slow times. That's something I definitely recommend. Don't be discouraged if it takes a few tries. Think about it as training. Know that once you pass those exams, you're going to be, prepared to start taking on those live files. And that's really, what we want to accomplish. And know that once you do get accepted into the team, you'll be prepared to succeed in your new position.